WPI inflation. Now, WPI, I've already told you some facts about it. Is given by Office of Economic Advisor, and um, it measures inflation at the wholesale level. Measures inflation at the wholesale level. What is wholesale? Wholesale is the sale of goods to anyone. The sale of goods to anyone other than the consumer. Other than the consumer. अगर आप किसी को भी अपनी चीज बेच रहे हो, you're selling your goods to anyone. Let's suppose another shop, another factory, and another individuals who are not the consumers. अगर आप किसी को भी अपनी चीजें बेच रहे हो, you're selling your goods to anyone other than the consumer. That is wholesale. And the moment you sell it to a consumer, it becomes a retail. Fine, that is your wholesale. Now you have to understand that WPI basket only includes goods. इसमें सिर्फ गुड्स है, यानी जो बास्केट हमने बनाया है फॉर कैलकुलेशन ऑफ WPI, इस WPI के बास्केट में देयर आर ओनली गुड्स, देयर आर नो सर्विसेज. अभी हम सर्विसेज को होलसेल पे नहीं निकालते हैं, बिकॉज इट्स बिकॉज सर्विसेज आर नॉट जनरली दैट इम्पोर्टेंट एट होलसेल लेवल. बिकॉज आप कौन से आप लाइक अ डॉक्टर प्रोवाइड्स यू अ सर्विस, यू डोंट गो टू अ डॉक्टर एंड आस्क फॉर हिम आप मुझे कितनी बार डॉक्टरी करके देंगे मेरी बॉडी पे, होलसेल पर बताइए कितने में देंगे, और रिटेल पे बताइए कितने में देंगे. जनरली अगर आप किसी टीचर के पास गए, यू डिडंट गो टू एडुकेमी एंड आस्क फॉर अ कोर्स एट अ होलसेल प्राइस. फाइन, तो ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है होलसेल जनरली सर्विसेज में. So that is why we ignore services at the wholesale level. But services are included at the retail level. Retail पे हम services को include करते हैं. Fine. So the question is, WPI basket only includes goods and it measures inflation at the wholesale transactions level. Now the question is, my question to all of you is कि भाई अगर आप रिटेल की लेवल पर इन्फ्लेशन निकाल रहे हो एंड होलसेल की लेवल पर इन्फ्लेशन निकाल रहे हो, माय क्वेश्चन इज which inflation is the actual inflation that actually creates pressure for the consumer. Consumer की inflation कौन सी है? We all know consumer feels the pressure when we have a higher retail inflation, that means CPI. So CPI is actually the inflation जिसकी वजह से लोगों पर असर पड़ता है. But if CPI is the actual inflation which should be measured, which should be lowered, then why do you measure at inflation at a wholesale level? Because consumers do not generally go to the wholesale level and purchase goods and goods from the wholesale level. Now the answer to that question is retail level. Fine. तो retail level तक जाने से पहले ही आप wholesale पर उस price को control करना चाहेंगे. That is why we calculate WPI. WPI is meant for timely intervention by the government to check inflation before the spillover happens. Precisely in the essential commodities, खासकर food वगैरह में. WPI help in timely intervention by the government to check inflation. In particular, the inflation in essential commodities. Before the prices spill over to the retail level. Before the prices spill over to the retail level. Is it clear? The next point here would be, आपका पहला WPI कब इशू हुआ है? The first index of wholesale prices commenced in India in January 1942. तो पहला जो इंडेक्स होलसेल की लेवल पर हमने निकाला है, that was in January 1942. नाउ 1942 से लेकर टुडे वी हैव द ईयर इज 2022, इट्स क्लोज टू 80 इयर्स जो अभी तक हुए हैं. नाउ इन दीज 80 इयर्स a lot has changed. काफी सारी चेंजेस आई है. WPI में चेंजेस हुआ है, CPI में चेंजेस हुआ है. सो विल अंडरस्टैंड कि भाई क्या क्या चेंजेस हुए हैं. नाउ यू नो कि जब भी हम प्राइसेस निकालते हैं, सपोज वी हैव अ बास्केट, यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि बास्केट में गुड्स होते हैं. तो WPI के बास्केट में वी हैव गुड्स ओनली, एंड गुड्स का इस बास्केट में हाउ मेनी गुड्स डू वी हैव. Initially, we used to have 112 goods. Then we increased it to, let's say, 139 and all that. ऐसे ऐसे चल रहे हम. तो आज कितने goods हैं हमारे पास? Likewise, let's suppose in this basket of goods, we only have, let's say, 100 goods. 2 सेकंड के लिए मान लेते हैं we have 100 goods. Now these 100 goods, we have to compare the prices of this 100 good. Let's say the year today is 2022. तो हम इस साल के प्राइसेस निकालेंगे एंड विल कंपेयर दोस प्राइसेस विद द बेस ईयर. तो इसका भी एक बेस ईयर होता है. फाइन. सो वी हैव अ प्राइस ऑफ दिस ईयर, कंपेयर दिस प्राइस विद द बेस ईयर प्राइस, और बेस ईयर आपका प्राइस लेट्स से इज 2011-12. तो दैट वुड बी द बेस ईयर. तो ये बेस ईयर भी चेंज होता रहता है. इनिशियली वी हैड अ बेस ईयर ऑफ 2004-5, then we shifted it to 2011-12. now we are again trying to shift it to some other base year and all. तो ये मामला चलेगा ऐसे ही. सो आपको क्या याद रखना है, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि भाई इस वक्त हाउ मेनी कमोडिटीज आर प्रेजेंट इन द WPI बास्केट एंड व्हाट इज द करंट बेस ईयर ऑफ WPI. नाउ I'll give you some context जिससे आपको चीजें याद रहेंगी. Now what happened is initially when we did the first revision of WPI basket, जब पहली बार हमने WPI के basket को revise किया था, that was the year 1952. So first revision of WPI basket was done in 1952. 1952. और revision में क्या किया? We had increased the commodities and we had changed the base year. Base year भी हमने बदला. So in 1952, the revision was done. 112 commodities were added to the WPI basket with a base year of 1952-53. उसके बाद the second revision was done in 1969, in which the total commodities were 139 commodities and the base year was 1961-62. उसके बाद another 1977, in which the total commodities were increased to 360 commodities and the base year was 1970-71. उसके बाद we did another revision in the year 1989. उसमें we increased the commodities to 447 and it was done at a base year of 1981-82. उसके बाद another revision was done in 1999, 10 years after. Total commodities were dropped to 435 with the base year of 1993-94. उसके बाद we had a big jump in the year 2011. हमने commodities total जो increase की 676 commodities, 676 commodities with the base year of 2004-5. And finally, we did another revision in 2017 recently with total commodities of 697 and base year of 2011-12. So that is the current base year. Okay. उसके बाद let's talk about the revised WPI. Revised WPI 2017. So in 2017, the first revision that they did is उन्होंने क्या कहा? उन्होंने कहा कि the base year, जो base year हमें रखना है, base year of GDP, base year of IIP, index of industrial promotion, index of industrial promotion, base year of GDP, base year of IIP, and base year of WPI should be the same. Should be the same. So that is what exactly we did. हमने GDP का base year भी 11-12 किया, IIP का base year भी 11-12 किया, एंड WPI का बेस ईयर भी 11-12 किया. Fine, so this was the first revision that was done in the year 2017, जहां पर we changed the base year and we actually aligned that base year with other indicators like GDP, IIP, and WPI. Fine. And this revision of 2017, this revision was based on the recommendations of Soumitra Chaudhary working group. Soumitra Chaudhary working group. Okay. So Soumitra Chaudhary working group, which was actually constituted in 2012, उन्होंने एक नई WPI की सीरीज की recommendation दी, and that is according to that recommendation we launched the new WPI series 2017. और 2017 में what is it that they did? Now see, new series में, in the new series, first of all, जो भी हमारा basket है, whatever basket we have of WPI, this basket में how many commodities are there? 697 commodities. They told us that 697 commodities have to be classified under 3 headings. WPI constitutes 3 major groups. WPI constitutes 3 major groups. पहला group कौन सा है? The first group is primary articles. Primary articles. Primary article में क्या क्या आएगा? Primary article में is like, you know, WPI basket के ही है article. Primary articles. तो primary articles में we have food items, we have non-food items, we have minerals, or minerals में we have metallic minerals, we have non-metallic, and we have crude petroleum. So metallic, non-metallic, and crude petroleum, food, non-food minerals, that is in the primary articles. उसके बाद number 2, the second group would be जो आपका ये 697 commodities का पहला group is primary articles, PI. Then you have the second group is fuel and power. और इसका अलग बहुत वेटेज है WPI के बास्केट में, fuel and power. Now in the fuel and power कौन कौन सी चीजें हैं आपके पास? In the fuel and power we have fuel, जो भी आपका fuel है, fuel. Then you have power के prices, light, electricity, coal mining, mineral oils, etc. That is fuel and power. Number 3, तीसरा जो group है, that is manufactured goods. Manufactured goods में you have food products. Now you should not get confused कि food दो जगह पर है. This is primary food and this is manufactured food. Food products, beverages, tobacco products, rubber products, wood products, basic metals, alloys, textile, paper, etc. Fine. So this would be the first important revision. उसके बाद revised WPI में what else was done? तो पहले तो we had these 3 groups. उसके बाद number of wholesale quotations. For example, basket में you need the price. तो आपको wholesaler से quotation लेना है. तो number of quotations जो आप ले रहे थे पहले, number of quotations were increased from 5482 to 8331. तो जितनी आप quotations ले रहे थे, they were increased from 5,000 to 8,000. Quotations बढ़ाई आपने ताकि relevant prices आपको मिल सके. Number 3, I'm asking you, does the WPI series include the indirect taxes that are levied at the retail level? Retail की level पर जो indirect taxes पड़ते हैं, क्या वो WPI के prices पर हमें मिलेंगे? Well, no, we take the prices at WPI. We do not take the retail prices. Why? Because retail के लिए you have a different index, that is CPI. So retail level के जितने भी आपके taxes है, they are not included in WPI series. That is why we can write WPI does not include indirect taxes. Does not include indirect taxes. In order to remove the impact of fiscal policy. In order to remove the impact of fiscal policy. तो फिस्कल पॉलिसी का इम्पैक्ट हटाने के लिए, रिमूव करने के लिए, we do not take the indirect taxes into consideration while we consider the WPI prices. Next, now I'll give you an idea. इस पे लिखा हुआ है the revised WPI में. In the revised WPI series, it is mentioned that the methodology for WPI will make use of geometric mean instead of arithmetic mean. Like we have already covered, geometric mean क्यों लिया जाता है और interdimensional inequality के लिए, and we do not take into consideration the arithmetic.